Based on information coming from meteorologists, it seems like there is an expectation that there will be double trouble in the tropical Atlantic. There is an expectation that twin new storms, which will be called Epsilon and Zeta, will be formed today, Sunday, October 18th. Instant forecast models, it is now much clearer that there will not just be one, but two tropical systems in the Western Atlantic and in the Caribbean Sea. In the Atlantic, it is expected to generate a depression, which will be called Epsilon, and this depression is expected to develop over the next few days, while the next system, which will be called Tropical Storm Zeta, is likely to form near Jamaica late next week. Tropical Storm Zeta could track towards the Bahamas and Florida. This 2020 Atlantic hurricane season has been extremely active, and it continues to produce more storms. And the next two storms on the list are Epsilon and Zeta. And of course, they are out there and they are moving along in a process that will generate a tropical depression soon. With the incoming wave, the atmospheric conditions are becoming much more favorable for tropical development in the regions where these two systems are currently located. The environment is becoming more favorable in the Western Atlantic and in the Caribbean Sea as well. There is a large circulation that is ongoing to the southeast of Bermuda, and this system is likely to become a tropical depression over the next 48 hours and may change as early as Sunday, October 18th. Another more potentially dangerous system is slowly organizing in the western regions of the Caribbean and may become a concerning threat for Cuba and the Bahamas, potentially even for the east coast of the United States later in October. Official hurricane season for the Atlantic Basin, which includes areas within the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, starts on June 1st of each year and ends on November 30th of each year as well. The peak of this season is usually from the middle of August to the latter parts of October. Usually by mid-October, there are only a few storms that are expected to occur. But for the 2020 hurricane season, which still has approximately 40 days and more before the season comes to a close. However, it should be noted that at the beginning of this 2020 hurricane season, the prediction coming from forecasters was that there would be approximately 13 to 22 named tropical storms, where 6 to 9 of these tropical storms would gain hurricane strength, whilst 3 to 4 of them would attain major strength. The official hurricane name list for the Atlantic hurricane season had 23 names reserved for the storms that would develop this year. But when it got to the middle of September, the list was exhausted, and therefore forecasters started using letters from the Greek alphabet. So far, they have used Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and of course they used the Delta. And Delta became a hurricane. Now the next systems that will be named from the list will be called Epsilon and Zeta. Once these systems have formed, for 2020, we would have gotten 27 storm names. And of course, Zeta was the last Greek alphabet letter used for a named storm in the 2005 hurricane season. So we have a season to compare to 2020. In comparison to 2005, there was 31 tropical depression, while so far in 2020 we've had 26. For 2020, we've had 25 named storms, and for 2005, there was 28 named storms, with 15 hurricanes, whilst in 2020, we've had 9 hurricanes so far. Of these hurricanes, 3 for 2020 were considered to be major hurricanes, whilst in 2005, there was 7 major hurricanes. The 2020 hurricane season is therefore very likely on the way for a new record for the most named storms in one season. Based on information provided, in 2005 there was all of 28 named storms, and that was the only year that has utilized the Greek alphabet until 2020 arrived. The 2005 hurricane season churned out powerful hurricanes like Katrina that caused devastation across the United States. There was also Rita and Wilma, and they had their own history. Based on forecast information, the 5-day expectation is that there will be showers and thunderstorms, and these are showing some signs of organization in association with a non-tropical low-pressure system, which is currently located approximately 500 miles east-southeast of Bermuda. The system is located to the south of a large blocking high over the northwest Atlantic, so the steering flow will push it towards west to northwest, while gradually strengthening over the next few days. You may ask, what is a subtropical depression or a subtropical storm? This is very likely to form during the next day or so, based on information that is given. And this system is given a reasonably high chance of 80% to become a non-tropical depression over the next 48 hours. A 90% chance exists that the system will attain tropical storm characteristics over the next 5 days and will become Tropical Storm Epsilon. Typically, a subtropical storm has a large, crowd-free center of circulation. It also comes with strong thunderstorm activity and occurs in its bands and is away from the center for at least 100 miles. Tropical Storm Epsilon will, however, be no immediate threat to the United States East Coast, but it will generate high swells and rough surf towards the East Coast, the Bahamas, the northern coast of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and of course, the Leeward Islands. Based on the model presented, it seems like these two tropical storms, which are considered to be potential tropical storms, Epsilon and Zeta, are gradually forming in the coming days and will intensify as the days progress as well. Epsilon in the tropical western Atlantic and Zeta, which is located in the western Caribbean Sea. These are the 950 millibars sustained wind speed forecast for Epsilon and Zeta. The eastern region of the Caribbean is being closely monitored as the weather forecast continues to state that a potentially dangerous tropical storm, which may become a hurricane over the next week, will be forming in the vicinity. Advice is being given as concerns are growing, and the broad area of low pressure, which is called a Central American gyre, is currently near Central America and will start developing soon. The extremely warm Caribbean sea waters, combined with the strengthening upper level divergence beneath the emerging NGO wave, is currently conducive for tropical development near the island of Jamaica. Based on forecast models, it is indicating that an increase in thunderstorm activity will occur, which may enhance the potential for the development of a new tropical storm towards Cuba, the Bahamas, and towards the east coast of the United States over the next 2 weeks. If Epsilon forms in the Atlantic over the next few days, the 50th letter from the Greek alphabet will be taken. Therefore, the Caribbean system will become known as Tropical Storm Zeta when tropical storm force winds develop in that region. Whilst the models are indicating that there is a lot of uncertainty regarding Zeta's development, other systems are showing that there is a possibility that this system, Zeta, will become more aggressive as the days progress. Based on information as well, it seems like Zeta is trending towards a strong tropical storm or hurricane, and this will happen over the western regions of the Caribbean late into next week. However, until the system has properly formed, it is too soon to be sure about its future track or its forecast or any possible impacts that it may have on land areas or any islands that are close by. There is also a potential as well that it may move further northeast along the east coast of the United States or turn towards the west in the direction of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. Movement continues on a northerly trajectory, then it is definitely a chance that the system may enhance the tropical threat for the Gulf Coast and the United States mainland at some point. What is a Central American GA? It is known as a CAG and is a broad low pressure area. It is located closely to the vicinity of Central America. Broad low pressure tropospheric cyclonic circulations occur close to Central America, and it is a cyclonic GA. They often form in response to the relatively active phase over the Madden-Julian Oscillation, which is close to Central America. Of course, it should be noted that you will be expecting exceptional amounts of rainfall from this system, as they normally lead to catastrophic flooding and large societal impacts on Central America. There are several cases before where GAs have led to tropical storm formation. Tropical storms Francis and Nicole, which formed in 1998 and 2010 respectively, were formed from these GAs. Of course, this Atlantic season has been very active and has been setting records for the most named storms to date. So far, there have been 25 named storms. This year can only be rivaled by the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season. There have been 3 major hurricanes: Hurricane Laura, Teddy, and Delta. 23 storms out of those 25 to date at the earliest formation date on record. It makes us wonder how many storms are there left to be named for this 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, when we have almost 45 days remaining. The major hurricanes Laura, Teddy, and Delta have all peaked at Category 4 strength. Laura and Delta both made landfall in Louisiana. Delta's center came ashore on October 9th, and interestingly, the landfall was just about 15 miles east of where the landfall point for Hurricane Laura was in August 2020. Of course, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ensure that you put the necessary preparedness plans in place. Ensure that you adhere to the advice that is given by your emergency management agency. Also, be safe and ensure that you have an hurricane plan or an hurricane preparedness plan or an evacuation plan in place. Be safe and thanks for watching. Goodbye.